out of the shops and onto the streets, out of the shops and onto the streets. For now, T-shirts too tote mottos, slogans or illustrative pictures, projected outwards by the aspect of the protruding frontage. Babe read one fleshy awning. Foxy, declaimed another. A rapid straw poll revealed it to be the female who had best mastered mistressed this pithy sign writing, judging by the stretched fabric, barely stretching to cover one male's rotund abdomen, which artlessly self-diagnosed beer monster. A second banners the legend, I'm with stupid, underscored with a cartoonishly sleeved and cuffed arm pointing to the right of him, where could be found nothing. Was this the point, perhaps? That he was far too superior to hang around with a stupid person? Or was it more that, stupid though his absconded partner was alleged to be, yet even he had managed to give his pal the slip? But for now, these seemed like doodlings, mere first drafts of bon mot, compared with the delicious proverbials emblazoned across female torsos. Well, no, not their torsos exactly. More like the pristine sight on their bodies. The prime sight. For see here approaching was another citation. No angel, with the added flourish of a halo. As this divine mobile hoarding approached him, she slackened her progress in order to juggle with her packages, seeking to locate a distress signal emanating from somewhere deep within her bundle. He too wound his gait down, counterfeiting rifling through jacket pockets with what he took to be casual insouciance, but must have resembled more the flapping arms of a chicken. At least that's how he gauged the daggers being shot at him by the pedestrians as they arced around him, before resuturing their surgical headway. She had by now found ubiquitous cellular and was mouthing into it. Yes, just as he had thought initially. The geometrical utmost exactitude cradled the protuberance of the lady's nipple. Or he supposed you could say that the nipple transfixed the halo's epicentre. Either way, the point, as it were, fair took his breath away. He recalled the received wisdom concerning the time taken by some women in applying their cosmetics of a morning. But did they also pose in front of a looking-glass in order to line up their clothing with such exactitude? Or does this bespeak of high quality, bespoke tailoring even in the realm of the humble T-shirt? Further research was mandatory, only by now the woman had caught his awed contemplation and whipped around on her heel to continue her confabulation while presenting her back to him. How impertinent, he mused to himself. No cameo impression through the back of her T-shirt, he also descried. Braless, like the majority of this spreeing strapline set on this fine summer's day. Forbidden fruit, admonished a passing one embossed in pink. No prisoners, counselled another in lime green. Out of your league, opined a third, bedecked in burgundy. This was posy heaven. He was obliged to consider his response to each of these correspondents. And then he cottoned on. Yes, of course. Such pronouncements were both an advice of availability and a promulgation of personality. All wrapped up in one. What brevity! What economy! A lonely heart that doesn't charge by the word to classify itself. A free-ranging broadcast. A roving sandwich board. Only without the disfigurement of such a ridiculous mantle. And self-regarding, since it only gets seen in those places where it desires to be seen. He had a strong inkling to recall all of this on his video phone for later reclamation, but he sensed this was not a good stratagem. Now another kite flyer advertised, Eye candy. Hi, Candy. Charmed to make your... Never mind, as he soon refluxed another reflected in a boutique window, imparting the letters T and O. This failed to spark any recognition, so he stopped at the self-same window display as the girl, though he was scanning the glass rather than what lay beyond. T-O, T-O. No, still not ringing any bells. Then wait a minute. Of course! It's been reversed in the glass. It was O-T. As in occupational therapy. though why anyone would want to ascertain such a fact, even if they dished it out rather than received it, was beyond him. As the woman ceded her vigil and chanced to turn in his direction, he noticed an occluded, wrinkly worm coming out from the penumbra of the O, converting it into a Q. Cutie! Of course, equals cutie! And he could not demur, even though her gaze locked onto his and furrowed as she took her leave, cutting right across him. This was curious and beginning to irk him, for he was beginning to detect a consistent pattern on the distaff side of the perusal exchange. Some had their smiles dislodged from their countenances, while others merely stared straight through him. Oh well, no time to ruminate, for along came a fresh sample, bearing no words, but a line drawing, sulky and all, of a brain over each mammary. Its very incongruity forced him once more to stop and ponder, even as she sauntered by. Was she indeed possessed of two brains? A reference to a twin or a consort, perhaps? I'm with brilliant, sans directional indicator. But then, why was someone else's cerebellum held joint title over her bosom? And then it struck him. Not two brains, but brains two. Two! A verbal pun played out visually. That was too much. Another level altogether. The oracular at one step removed. The notice of availability more daintily veiled, but no less compelling.